At my father's birthday party, the moment I stepped inside, I knew I shouldn't have come. The house hummed with chatter, clinking glasses, and the fake warmth of relatives who hadn't spoken to me in years. Near the entrance sat a table of name tags, my stepmother Caroline's idea. She claimed it helped people mingle, but really, it was just another way to control everything. I scanned the table until I found mine. It didn't just say Rachel. Beneath it, in neat, deliberate letters, it said, "The disappointment." For a second, I thought maybe it was some cruel mistake. Then I spotted Caroline across the room, smirking into her wine glass, and heard her laugh. That's when I knew it was intentional. I'm 32 years old, and if you asked my dad, Mark, he'd probably agree with that label. Not because I'm lazy, reckless, or in trouble with the law. No, it's because I chose my own life instead of the one he scripted for me. Mark has always thrived on appearances. When my parents divorced, I was 10. A year later, he married Caroline, who had 2 children of her own, Ethan and Lila. At first, I tried to blend in. I wanted Dad to be happy. I hoped Caroline would welcome me, but she never did. Her focus was on Ethan and Lila, and before long, Mark stopped being my dad and became theirs. It showed in 100 small ways, skipping my soccer games but never Ethan's, forgetting to pick me up but always making Lila's recitals. By 14, I was the built-in babysitter, the responsible one, the one told to be mature while her kids got away with everything. If I complained, Mark acted like I was exhausting. Caroline called me selfish. The real betrayal came later, when Dad drained the college fund my mom had fought to save for me. She tried to intervene, but the damage was done. I lost trust. I worked my way through school on scholarships and part-time jobs, and when I left for college, I swore I'd never depend on him again. Years passed, but nothing changed. Holidays felt more like obligations than reunions. Ethan and Lila were celebrated. I was tolerated, always the one who fell short. So when Caroline planned a lavish birthday party for Dad, I had no intention of going. But my aunt, one of the few people who still treated me like family, urged me. "Just stop by," she said. "Maybe it'll be different this time." It wasn't. The tension hit me the second I walked in. Dad's smile faltered when he saw me, like I was an unexpected guest. Then came the name tag. The disappointment. Caroline's smug laugh echoed again. My blood boiled, but instead of walking out, I pressed the tag flat on the table, forced a smile, and thought, not this time. Later, Dad approached me. His tone was polite, almost distant. "I didn't think you'd come," he said. "Wouldn't miss it," I answered. "You've been busy?" "Work's good. I bought a house last year." I saw it in his eyes, that flicker of irritation. I'd built something without him. My independence was the one thing he couldn't take credit for. Before he could respond, Caroline slipped in beside him. "Well, at least she finally did something responsible," she said sweetly, loud enough for others to hear. The heat in my chest rose. I wanted to walk away. Instead, I asked, "Whose idea was the name tag?" Her smile faltered. "Oh, don't be so sensitive. It was just a joke." "Right," I said flatly. "Hilarious." She leaned in, voice dripping with disdain. "Maybe if you weren't so bitter all the time, you'd be." I cut her off, raising my glass. "Actually, I've got a joke, too." The room stilled. Conversation stopped. All eyes turned to me. Caroline gave a nervous laugh, trying to brush it off. But Dad froze. He knew me well enough to realize I wasn't bluffing. I let the silence hang before speaking. To my dad, I began lightly, and to Caroline. Because without you, I learned one of the most valuable lessons of my life. Awkward chuckles rippled through the crowd. They expected me to smooth it over, make myself the punchline, play the role I'd always been cast in. But I didn't. "You always said family supports each other, that they celebrate your wins, lift you when you're down."
For years, I believed that.
Until I realized here that only applies if you play the role assigned to you. The favorite, the afterthought, the scapegoat. And if you don't fit the image, you're not family. You're just the disappointment. The room went dead silent. Ethan leaned back, smirking. Lila looked stunned. I met my father's eyes. I worked for everything I have, scholarships, a career, a home. I thought one day you'd finally see me differently. But it was never about who I am. It was about control. Keeping me small. Keeping me beneath you. I set my glass down. Well, I don't fit anymore. I built my own life, and it's better, freer, than anything I ever had here. Caroline scoffed. This is ridiculous. It was just a silly name tag. I turned to her.
No.
It's every dig, every reminder that I'll always be less in this house. But here's the truth. I raised my glass high. To the last time you'll ever see me. Silence. My father's face went pale. Caroline's smirk cracked. And I walked out calmly, without looking back. For the first time in my life, I wasn't running away from them. I was running toward myself. Toward freedom. The aftermath was predictable. Missed calls. Explosive texts. The family chat in chaos. My aunt checked in, but I told her I needed space. Eventually, Dad called. You can't just walk away like this. Family sticks together. Not if sticking together means pretending I'm someone I'm not, I said. Not anymore. That was the last time we spoke. Now I live in peace. No more roles to play. Some relatives call me cruel. Others pretend it never happened. But I've never felt lighter. So tell me, was I wrong for standing up and walking away? Or was it long overdue to stop being the disappointment and finally choose myself?